You've heard the saying, one man's trash is another man's treasure. Well, consider some of these collections that are valued as treasures. One couple has collected over 6,500 chicken-related items. Another woman has collected over 3,000 miniature chairs. And Graham Walker even has a belly button lint collection that he's been collecting since 1984. If these are treasures, then my pawpaw's treasure would have to be his old junk car collection that covers the hill behind his barn. He even has his first car there. My mama's treasure would have to be her thousands and thousands of photographs. That is no exaggeration. When I asked my mama what her treasure was, she said that she once treasured the sonogram tape of my older brother. That is, until my daddy accidentally taped a hunting show over it. Let's just say it's no longer her treasure. She still seems a little hot over that one. For me, my treasure would be a baseball signed by some of the 2011 St. Louis Cardinals. But the Bible tells us not to lay treasures on earth. And Matthew 6:21 tells us, "For where your treasure is, there shall your heart lie also." That puts the word treasure in a whole new perspective and leads us to wonder, why not lay treasures on earth? What are the risks? And how do we lay treasures up in heaven? First, why not lay treasures upon earth? Well, much like my mama's treasured video, earthly treasures don't last long, especially if Daddy's around. Proverbs 23:4-5 tell us not to work to be rich, because riches certainly make themselves wings and fly away like an eagle towards heaven. In other words, earthly treasures don't last long. If we're working our entire lives for earthly goods, then we're basically working for nothing, like the old rusted cars that cover my pawpaw's hill. And Matthew 6:14-20 tell us, "Lay not up for yourselves treasures on earth, where moth nor rust corrupt, and where thieves break in and steal. But lay up for yourselves treasures in heaven, where neither moth nor rust corrupt, and where thieves break in nor steal." Treasures in heaven are forever. No one can take them from us. But treasures on earth don't last long and mean nothing on Judgment Day. One of our longtime preachers used to say, "You never see a hearse pulling a U-Haul." And he was so right. We can't take earthly treasures with us. What are the risks associated with laying up treasures on earth? In Matthew 22:37, Jesus is asked what the greatest commandment is. And he replies, "You shall love the Lord your God with all your heart, with all your soul, and with all your mind." If we become overtaken with the desire to have earthly treasures and riches, we will fail to keep the commandment of our Lord. In Luke 12, Jesus tells a parable of a rich man whose fields brought forth plentiful. So he tore down his barns and built greater ones. And he said to his soul, "Soul, you have goods laid up for many years. Take your ease, eat, drink, and be merry." But the Lord said, "You fool, your soul shall be required of you tonight. Whose things shall these be?" Jesus concludes in verse 21, "So is he that layeth up treasures for himself, and is not rich toward God." We can't put our hope and trust in earthly treasures, because this will take our heart and soul away from God. Just how do we lay treasures up in heaven? First of all, Christians are known by their fruits. So we must bring souls to God. Matthew 7:7 tells us, "For every good tree brings forth good fruit, but a corrupt tree brings forth corrupt fruit." Our fruits are our treasures. Next, we have to do good works. 1 Timothy 6:18 tells us to be rich in good works and ready to distribute. And according to Matthew 25, we see these good works when Jesus describes the kingdom of heaven by telling the righteous it was theirs, because I was hungry and you gave me food. I was thirsty and you gave me drink. I was a stranger and you took me in. Naked and you clothed me. I was sick and you visited me. I was in prison and you came to me. Jesus tells them they did this to the least of them, that they did it to him. We need to do the will of God to have treasures in heaven. Even if it's as simple as sharing clothes or food, we'll be rewarded. A few years ago, a popular bumper sticker once read, "He who dies with the most toys wins." This may sound true to many people, but when it comes to God's will, this cannot be farther from the truth. You have the choice of earthly treasures with dust, rust, and thieves, or heavenly treasures with God and eternal life. Where will your treasure be?